plaintiff, Lori Coleman, says she is best friends with the defendant's mother. And this case has put a strain on their 50-year friendship. Lori claims drama follows the defendant wherever she goes, and she's suing her today for the balance due on several loans. Defendant Melinda Kelker believes Lori is going through a midlife crisis because after she got out of a 13-year relationship, she started dating a 29-year-old. Melinda claims her family wants nothing to do with Lori, and she insists she agreed to make payments on the loans to the bank, not to Lori.
Start with you.
Let me give you a little bit of insight as to how I know Melinda. She is my best friend's daughter, and her mother is still my best friend to this day, but because of this case, it's ruined a 50-year friendship between me and my best friend because of her. Because of her, it's depleted my life savings, my retirement money, and it's been nothing but a heartache and a fiasco.
How did you allow that to happen?
Because it was a clear-cut case of try to be a good Samaritan, try to help her out. She's a single parent. She has lived
All right,
with...
you got yourself together, your emotions over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Well, I must say,
Yeah.
if you depleted your entire retirement and it was you suing her today for $3,300, you weren't gonna stay retired for long. Give me some background, ma'am. Your association with the plaintiff. Yes,
Well, Your Honor,
ma'am.
not to be disrespectful, Lori, yes, she is an old friend of the family. She's not necessarily a personal friend of mine, but she is of my mother's. But because of all this fiasco, my family wants
What's a fiasco?
nothing.
I hope you didn't borrow money from this woman and now you're calling it a fiasco.
It's the whole point of everything we've gone through. The harassing phone calls, the definite checking up, making sure that I'm doing what I've said that I'm going to do. She's just in a state where it's almost like a midlife crisis. She's went through a breakup come as of last year from her boyfriend of 13 years, got with a guy that's 29 years of age.
All right.
Has been, has done different things, questionable items and things with her new boyfriend, which is, no big deal. Every woman does this kind of stuff. But, it's just to the point now that with all this, my family wants nothing to do with her.
How do you know your mother doesn't?
I have an email that she wrote to my mother.
Let's see it.
And it does badmouth me in there.
So
And-
where's your mother's email saying that I don't
My
want anything
mother's-
to do with
my
you? Your
mother
mother might say, yeah, you right, girl.
My mother has verbally told me that she has verbally spoken with Lori and said that because of this, I don't want anything to do with you.
No. She says, Mindy has put an enormous amount of stress on me that I did not need. You are right. I should have stayed out of her stuff. She is way too much stupid drama.
Your Honor, she was advised not to give me the money. She had told me several times that she didn't want
Well,
to.
that's what I'm saying about
But I
your
had-
mother. Don't come in here talking about your mother's backing you up. Your mother told her in the first place not to deal with you.
Defendant Melinda Kelker says her mother is friends with the plaintiff, and she believes the plaintiff is going through a midlife crisis because she's dating a 29-year-old.
Go ahead. Tell me why you dealt with her. Your mother told you not to.
I know, and I should
Now
have
you
listened
coming
to my
here
best
landing
friend.
on my desk.
And she had told me for years, because my best friend has 7 grandchildren and 3 children. She's the youngest, and Melinda's the youngest of the 3. Melinda has a lot of drama wherever, she gets into way too much drama. A lot of it she causes herself, and a lot of it she just walks right into it. And
Let's just start number one. How many loans? I see unpaid loans, plural. How many, ma'am?
well, there's 5. Oh, there's 5.
Over the course of
in
what
it.
time, ma'am?
This started on July the 8th of 2013, and it ran through when I filed small claims court on January 31st.
I thought you was about to say when I filed bankruptcy.
No, I actually,
I say 3,000. Go ahead,
well,
ma'am.
actually, as a gift, I gave her $1,000. Her ex left her in an enormous amount of debt, and I was trying to help her get back on her feet. It's basically I was a good Samaritan trying to help her out, and she took advantage of the situation. I was laid off and in between jobs. My unemployment benefits got cut. And she knew that I had $34,000 in the bank, and because
I didn't
of all
know
of this,
I didn't know anything about your paychecks and how much you have in your bank account. You don't make that public knowledge.
First off, it wasn't paychecks, it was my retirement account.
Ma'am, tell me the individual loans and what were the terms of repayment. Go ahead.
Yeah,
you
sure.
say it started in July. How much was that?
Okay, July the 8th, there was $175. There was a bail bond. I bailed her out of jail for unpaid tickets
For
of
what?
$200.
Unpaid tickets.
Then there was an issue of a medical bill for $150.
Tell me the dates. The second one is what? The
Oh.
first one was July 8th.
Correct.
When is the second?
August 7th.
30 days later. When was the next?
The next one was August 14th.
1 week later.
Yeah, for $150, correct?
When was the next one?
The next one was for a traffic ticket on August 30th
2
for
weeks
$90.
So she knew by then she had one to go.
Yeah, you bet.
All
You
right.
bet.
Yeah. No, all right. I understand what this is now. It's very clear, ma'am. How did we get, ma'am? This
At
is
any
not
rate-
quite the amount you're suing for, though. This isn't $3,300.
I'm getting to that. We're not done yet. These were just for unpaid loans from July to August. I haven't gotten to November yet. But anyway, we went to St. Charles to look at a minivan. She needed $200 more to purchase this car for a total of $1,000. Then on this same vehicle, the 1999 Mercury Sable that she just bought as is, the transmission went out. And so
went to her piggy bank.
Back to the piggy bank we go. And the transmission went out in the newer vehicle that she purchased. And she had paid $200 on it, but it came to $2,526
$2,400 to repair it.
At any rate, what happened, I paid these loans off because I had lost my job and I couldn't count on her paying these back. In January, we fought like cats and dogs because
Even though I was making
had to
payments
call and
before.
remind her because I knew she wouldn't do it. Every time I called her, my check's short.
Now,
I don't
why
have
didn't
the
you
money.
at any
My
point
check-"
say, I can't keep loaning you money, or
Well, it
why do
had-
you keep coming back to me, or you can't keep coming back to me every 2 weeks or every month. She did this for 6 months.
I know, she was my best friend's daughter, and I was trying to help, and it was a poor judgment call, very poor on my part. She makes poor financial decisions. She gets
I work
involved.
hard for my money and I don't get laid
Ma'am,
off.
my brothers, my children, nobody can come to me every 2 weeks and ask for some money.
I know, it was just a poor judgment call on my part, to say the least.
I was about to say my wife. If the money wasn't half hers,
Right.
Lord have mercy. How much has she repaid you?
She paid me back a little in cash, but that's not a part of this case today.
So the loans you just mentioned,
And-
she has not paid you one dime.
That's correct, because the
You are
other
so liars. You're so full of it, Lori.
Ma'am, go ahead, you tell me.
You are so full of it.
Ma'am, stop that drama and tell me.
On these loans, I had an agreement with her because she was hee-hawing around with me on this loan. And I told her, I said I did not want to come to you. I had asked all of my other friends before I asked Lori for anything because I know she's not made out of money. She was in between jobs. She kept getting let go of jobs.
All right,
and she had offered me the loan. And she's like, Melinda, this is personal money for me. And I was like, Lori, if you do not want to give me this money, you do not have to. She took out 2 lines of credit for me to get the transmission fixed. I told her, upon our agreement, that I would pay those institutions back. Nothing was to go back to her other than the money that she had lent me before.
Defendant Melinda Kelker says her mother is friends with the plaintiff, and she believes the plaintiff is going through a midlife crisis because she's dating a 29-year-old.
I know you're not saying what I think you're saying, that you don't owe her, you owe the institutions.
The reason-
When they're in her name, the institutions have them in her name.
They
Ma'am, is
haven't-
this about to ruin your credit?
Absolutely, it was going to ruin my credit. I had good
Okay, how
credit.
much do you owe currently to the institutions?
I paid these off with my retirement
paid 'em
money.
off.
I paid them off with my retirement
So that's
money.
why you're suing her for them. They've already been paid off. Ma'am, why shouldn't you have to pay her if she's already paid them off?
Because they were already set up on a prepayment plan, which I was able to obtain and maintain.
All right, but
that.
they've been paid off now by her. Why shouldn't you have to reimburse her the money she paid off that
Because-
was loaned to you?
Because that money that she used to repay those loans, she should have used for her own benefit and what she needed. I was making payments to those loans. I was making payments, and I would have paid them all off like I said.
You think you don't owe this woman because you told her you would pay the institutions. Instead, she paid the institutions because you were late paying, had her credit at risk, so she paid them off. So now you say, well, since she paid them off, I don't owe her.
In between the harassing phone calls that I had received from her telling me that I should have 2+ jobs with this, you know, with me having my 2 kids, having no one else to watch my kids and stuff like that, the continuous harassing phone calls.
Ma'am, the woman paid off the loans that she obtained on your behalf.
And she should not have paid those loans
But
off.
she did. $3,341 is your judgment, ma'am. I hope you've learned a lesson.
Yes, I did. Thank you, Your Honor.
Hopefully she's going to go on with her life and leave my family out of hers.
I'm just glad it's done with, and I'm ready to move on.